days. In exchange, China is temporarily cutting its tax on imports from the U.S. to just 10%. The move is
live from the Lord's Anointed. That's what we're hearing now.
The earlier triple-digit tax had brought much of the cargo traffic between the two countries.
2013, 2016.
Used to pay, however, and because the tariff relief has been.
Now, when you sit down and you actually think about what a Christian does, then you'll realize that a Christian's an actor. Because it's the job of a Christian to act like somebody else. You guys know what satire is? Now, when you sit down and you actually think about what a Christian does, then you'll realize that a Christian's an actor. Because it's the job of a Christian. Now, when you sit down and you actually think about what a Christian does, then you'll realize that a Christian's an actor. Because it's the job of a Christian to act like somebody else. You guys know what satire is?
My name is Lopez.
Now, when you sit down and you actually think about what a Christian does, then you'll realize. Now, when you sit down and you actually think about what a Christian does, then you'll realize that a Christian's an actor. Because it's the job of a Christian to act like somebody else. You guys know what satire is?
My name is Lopez. Anybody in here got a problem with the fact that I speak with a list? Okay. Can we get on with it then? Because the list is not that big of a deal. A lot of people have a list. Everybody's got a disability, something that they have to overcome. Right? So can we just move on from my list, please? I'm not going to let my list change me. Please don't let it change you. Okay? Is that fine? WTF, man? I enjoy becoming a better person. I like holding the door open for others, and on the weekends I do community service by letting people cut in front of me at the supermarket. And I'm also a member of the master race. Anybody else in here a Christian? Great, great. And now, as a member of the master race, I follow very strict race guidelines. It's very important to me that I keep the racial purity of the master race, because I am a member of the master race. And that's why I don't allow myself to associate with anyone who's not a member of the master race. That's why I don't talk to people that are going to hell. And that's why I have to know who's going to hell. It's my job to identify who's going to hell. And please don't start by asking me what right do I have to say who's going to hell, and how do I know who's going to hell? Okay? I'll tell you how I know who's going to hell. Because I'm a member of the master race, and it's my job to know who's going to hell. Are you okay with that? All right. Well, I'll tell you what else is cool about being a Christian is that in order to have fun, I don't have to do anything. I just think about it, right? For instance, if I want to commit adultery with a woman, I can look right at this woman right here. I've committed adultery with her 5 times just now. Yeah. 5 times I've committed adultery. 5 times. Because the Bible says, it's very clear, I'm a Christian and I take the Bible literally. I take the Bible very literally. And I don't want to get in any debates over whether or not the Bible is the Word of God. That's not the point. The point is I take it literally. And the Bible says that if you look on a woman to lust, you've committed adultery already. But you didn't even know. Even Rachel didn't know. Which is fine. That's great. I love it that way. Nobody knows what a weirdo I am. I am married, and so I don't want the word to get out that I'm an adulterer, even though I'm an adult. It's fine. I do a lot of adulterous things, right? Like I used to drink alcohol, so I stopped that adulterous activity because it wasn't very good for me. But yeah, I commit adultery. I do it all the time. I'm honest about it. The problem is, I don't want to be known as an adulterer, which is why I look at porn. Porn is a great alternative for the Christian because I'm not really looking at a woman to lust after a woman. In my heart, I'm looking at a computer screen. Great! I get all the benefits of committing adultery, and I don't have to commit sin. I don't need to. I'm not an adulterer. That's why I like being a Christian, right? And I'm still a member of the master race. But seriously, though, I haven't gone to church for a while, not since I became an atheist. To me, it's very important. One of the most important things people ask me all the time, well, how do you follow Christ when you're an atheist? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, you stop believing in God. That's the first step. Then you quit following the Bible. Then you just hold the door open for people. It's not complicated. I don't understand all this business about, who'd you vote for, and what do you think about Obama and the Tea Party?
Eric, De Los Santos. Is it De Los Santos or De Los Santos?
Whichever way we're
It looks good. You're looking good, dude. You are. Yeah. Hi, how are you?
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, I know. I know. Got some Jesus people in here tonight. So, how you guys doing tonight? How many minutes do I have?
Mikey, so
Mikey?
15 minutes out.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, Randall.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you a Democrat?
Yeah, I'm registered Democrat. I am. I'm registered as a Democrat, yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah. Right, we'll clarify that in a second, right? Because you know why I'm a Democrat. These guys know, right? I'm a Democrat. Anybody else in here a Democrat? I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but might as well. I love telling people that I'm a Democrat. Anybody in here like me, you're a Democrat? Man, I love being a Democrat. You know why I love being a Democrat? Huh? Because I love following Jesus. Don't you just love following Jesus? I mean, don't you just love doing what Jesus says? You know, you have to be mentally ill to be a Democrat, though, right? It doesn't make any sense. Right? Sooner or later, you run out of money, you run out of people to support the programs that you got to have to be a Democrat in order to keep the thing going. I mean, in order to be a Democrat, you have to have just more money coming in than going out. It's just impossible. You can't keep doing it. You can't sustain that, right? Isn't that true? You have to be crazy. You have to be mentally ill to be a Democrat, which is why you have to be a Christian to be a Democrat, right? You have to be. Right, you have to be. And did you know you have to be mentally ill, you have to be crazy to be a Christian, right? But, of course, speaking of Christians now, are there anybody else in here like me? You're a Christian, right? So you're a Christian like me, and you're against abortion, but you're for late-term abortions as long as they're state-approved and from 20,000 feet in the sky, and they got to be done over there. We can't have them over here. Right, because we can't just have like state-approved late-term abortions falling out of the sky from 20,000 feet in the sky. That'd be crazy. Better keep it over there, right? Like Pakistan or something like that. We can't have a bunch of people just like randomly being aborted here from 20,000 feet in the sky. You guys know about that, right? About being pro-life. Anybody in here like me, you're a Christian, and you're also an American, and that means you're at least 62% pro-life this week. Right? You like that? Like me, you're an American Christian. You know what a Christian is? You know what the primary job of a Christian is? And remember, I'm talking to you as a Christian, right? C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N, Christian. Can you spell Christian? C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N, Christian. With an E at the end and a capital C at the beginning. Christian, C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N, Christian. And it's a Christian's job, the first job of a Christian is to do what they're told, right? It's a job of a Christian to do what they're told. And it's a job of an American, right, to follow what America tells me. So as a Christian, I do what I'm told, and as an American Christian, I do what America tells me. That means if America tells me to kill somebody, I got to do it. I got to do it in Jesus' name. Right? So, but mental illness is a very important issue. Now, speaking of mental illness, did you know that society is a set of rules? And that people are mentally ill because society says that they're mentally ill? Did you know that? and if it wasn't for the rules of society, that nobody would be mentally ill. Did you know that the only reason that people are actually mentally ill is because society says that they're mentally ill? Because if it wasn't for the rules of society, there would be nobody that's mentally ill. The reason why people are mentally ill is because they meet the definition requirements for what society says is mentally ill, right? So society says that the opposite of mental illness is that you go to the bank and you stand in line and then you put your money in the bank or you take your money out of the bank, right? Or society says that the opposite of mentally ill is that you go and you stand on the sidewalk or you sit inside of a 4,000-pound piece of steel that has rubber tires on it, right? That's burning fuel, it's putting poison into the air, and you're breathing poison and toxins and all kinds of chemicals that are destroying your body and destroying the environment, and then you sit in front of a machine, you sit in a machine, and you sit in front of a machine, and you wait for that machine to tell you what to do, right? It's called an ATM. You ever done that? You ever sit inside of a car and wait for the ATM to tell you what to do, right? And society says that that is not mentally ill, right? Society says that if you do that, then you're fine, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You get in your 4,000-pound car, right? You drive 2 miles or 2 blocks or whatever. You go to the bank, right? You sit in front of the machine and you wait for the machine to tell you what to do, right? And you ever notice that how often in society, society will tell you that in order to be not mentally ill, that you need to stand in front of something and that you need to wait for that thing to tell you what to do. And then when that thing tells you what to do, that you need to do what that thing tells you what to do so that you can get what that thing told you that you would get if you do the thing that told you what to do told you what to do, right? But you got to do it fast enough and you got to do it the right way, right? So you put your card in and you got to take your card out fast, right? And if you didn't do it the right way, then you got to do it again. And society says you're fine. You're not mentally ill, okay? Now, have you ever noticed, speaking of people that are mentally ill, I'm a Christian. You guys know what a Christian is? Do you know what a Christian is? You know how to spell Christian? C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N. Christian, right? N at the end and a capital C at the beginning. Christian. You know what a Christian is, don't you? A Christian's a mentally ill person, right? You know why a Christian's a mentally ill person? Because they follow a mentally ill person. Did you know that? Christians follow a person that was mentally ill by society standards, right? Did you know that Jesus, according to society, was mentally ill? Right. Because Jesus, not only did Jesus lay down his own life, remember, Jesus said, nobody takes my life, I lay it down so that you could live, so that I could live, right?
On TV, I don't know. So let's give it up for Mr. Srandall Slopez coming to the stage. Give it up for him. We're laughing. Come on. Here we go.
Thank you, Brian Petrasin. Thanks to El Kiosco for putting this on, for letting us be here. Thanks, Brian, for organizing this. Brian always does a great job. I love working with Brian. Brian's a great guy. How you guys doing tonight? Great. Man, you got a great smile. Aww. Man, it's fantastic. Beautiful. Now, first thing is, how many minutes do I have?
Like 10.
Like 10. Okay, let me know when I get to about 8 minutes.
Give me the 2 minutes. I'll give you
Give me the 2-minute warning. All right. Now, first of all, let me say this is an act. Okay, we all know, right? I'm a performer. I'm performing. This is an act, right? Because I'm an actor. Did you know I'm an actor? Because I'm a Christian? Did you know that Christians are actors? Yeah, they're actors. Did you know it's the job of a Christian to act? Did you know that? Yeah, I'm an actor. So, did anybody, you guys seen Jim Carrey? Tonight? Seen Jim Carrey? Anybody seen Jim Carrey here tonight? I didn't think so. I have never seen Jim Carrey at one of my performances ever. Now there's a reason for that probably. Back in the 90s, oh by the way, I'll get to that in a minute. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah.
You guys keeping it Jesus?
Yeah.
Anybody else in here? You guys know what this means, don't you?
Yeah.
That I'm the world's most positive performer. You know why that is? Because it's easier to do this than this. Just try it. Let's see it, everybody. Everybody, there you go. It's easier to do this than this, right? Keeping it Jesus. just like Obama. So, back in the 90s, speaking of Jim Carrey, now back in the 90s, Jim Carrey stole my act. Yeah, I had to come up with all new material. And all through the 90s, I was broke. Yeah, and I'm still broke. So, if anybody sees Jim Carrey, tell him I got a message for him. Hey, Jim Carrey. Yeah, tell him I got a message for Jim Carrey. Why don't you pay your bills?
Yeah.
I got bills to pay, Jim Carrey, and I'm broke. So, yeah. So if you see Jim Carrey, here's my card. Hey, if you need anything, call me. Let me know if you need anything. That way I can be more of a Christian if you need any help. I'm always trying to help people. It makes me more Christian. In case I can't find a Chick-fil-A to eat at or Papa John's, I can just give you a hand and that makes me a Christian. Anybody else in here like me, you're a Christian and you have trouble eating if you can't find a Chick-fil-A or a Papa John's? Right? Because you're trying to stay saved, but you just can't find a Chick-fil-A, and so you're looking for a Walmart. Anything inside of a Walmart keep you safe. Even a McDonald's. Right? Oh, blessed. I mean, you ever notice that Walmart has the exact same coloring scheme in their marketing scheme as America? You ever notice that? They even got a giant star. Isn't that cool? So you know you're in America when you go to Walmart. Oh, speaking of people that don't pay their bills, is anybody else in here like me? You're a Democrat? Yeah, that's great, huh? Don't you love being a Democrat? Don't you just love following Jesus? I just love being a Democrat, and I'm not afraid or ashamed to say it. I just love following Jesus. And people think I'm joking, I'm not. I love being a Christian, and I love telling people I'm a Christian, and that's why I love telling people I'm a Democrat. Because you know why I'm a Democrat? Excuse me, can I get some water? Somebody get me some water, please? Anybody? Water? I'll tell you why I'm a Democrat. Okay, I'm a Democrat because I'm a Christian. Okay? And you guys know why I'm a Christian? Because I'm a liberal. Yeah. And you know why I'm a liberal, don't you? Because I like to feel good. Now, my job as a liberal, I'm not one of these people. Remember back in the old days when you didn't know what people were? Back when you just knew they're like, oh, that's my neighbor, or this is the guy I met at the supermarket, or this is the person who delivers my mail, or that's my plumber. But you didn't know what they were. You just knew that this was this guy and that was that lady or this guy. Remember, now suddenly you know everybody's going to tell you what they are. Right? Have you noticed that? But I'm not one of these guys that just tells you what I am. I tell you what I am, and I tell you why I'm that, and I tell you what my job is. Right? Because everybody's got a job to do. Wow, look at this, even water. Man, look at that. Beautiful smile. Thank you so much. So, how we doing on time? 20 minutes left. Got it. 3 minutes left?
About
4, 3, 2. You count like a Democrat. I like that. Hey, now listen. Don't you want to see what's in it? Don't you want to see what's in it? Well, you can't see what's in it unless you pass it. That's my job as a Democrat, to pass the bill and see what's in it. Right? How are you going to know what's in it unless you pass the bill? You know, my other job is a Democrat's got a lot of jobs, but that's their first job, is pass the bill and see what's in it. Yes, sir.
my girl wants to know if you're really a Christian.
I just got done telling you I'm really a Christian. No, I'm really a Christian. Right? It's amazing. I bet you're a Christian. So many Christians are I spend half of my time proving to Christians that I'm a Christian. I thought just telling you I was a Democrat. You want to see my voter card? I'm a Democrat. That proves I'm a Christian. Hey, do you know how I know Jesus was a Christian? I mean, Jesus was a Democrat because he wasn't a Christian. You know how I know he was a Democrat? Because he was always using other people's money to pay his bills. Right. Also, you know what a Democrat's job is, don't you? Besides following the lettered parts of the Bible, a Democrat's job is to fund the war so we can see who wins it, record the call so we can see who made it, bomb the compound so we can see who got it. But you got to do it in that order, because you can't know who's going to get it until after you bomb it. You can't just go around knowing who you're going to bomb. You have to bomb first and then find out who got it. So you bomb the compound first, and then you dig through the rubble, and then you see who got it. Right? And then the first thing you got to do before that is you got to record the call to see who made it. Because otherwise, you're just going to be knowing whose phone calls you're going to. You can't just know whose calls you're going to make and then record those calls. How are you going to do that? You're going to know, are you telling me that you're going to know whose calls you're going to record, and then you're going to record those calls? No. You got to record the call, then see who made it. You record the call to see who made it. You bomb the compound to see who got it. But before that, you got to fund the war to see who wins it. Because these things, I mean, I'm telling you, they can go on forever. You got to fund the war to see who wins it. How are you going to know who wins it unless you fund it? Right? Somebody's got to fund it. Somebody's got to win it. How are you going to know unless you fund it? And that's the job of a Democrat. Fund the war, see who wins it, record the call, see who made it, bomb the compound, see who got it. But before that, you got to start the war to see who profits. Because how are you going to profit unless you start it? And what's the point in starting a war unless you're going to profit? And so that's my job as a Democrat. Of course, the first thing I do is pass the bill to see what's in it. So, now, one more thing, I'll leave you with this. A lot of people ask me, are you really a Christian? I mean, do you really believe in all this stuff about Jesus?
Lopez. Come on, man. All right. Thank you.
We don't have...
Yes, thank you. Yeah, let me get my thing here. We'll put all my stuff right here, man. Thank you. Can I get a hug? Sure. Appreciate that. I just love Adrian Lopez. I love Adrian. Adrian, thank you for having me up here tonight. My name is Randy. Now, let me tell you how I spell my name, okay? If you look on the internet, you'll find my name as S. Randall, and then a space, and then S. Lopez. So it's spelled Srandall Slopez, okay? But the S is actually silent, unless you say it. And you can actually call me Randy. All my friends call me Randy. Jesus call me Randy. Now I have a unique act. It's a little different. So what I want to do is I want to explain the act first. I have to explain the act because sometimes people just need some explanation. So this is for all the Christians out there. I am actually a Christian, and I do a lot of satire, but I'm a non-Christian. Okay? You guys know what a non-Christian is? You guys know what a Christian is, don't you? Anybody here know what a Christian is? It's an actor. You guys know what an actor is, don't you? An actor is somebody that acts. Right? So it's my job as a Christian to be an actor, but as a non-Christian, it's my job to act the opposite way that a Christian acts. Right? So most Christians, you act. Oh, by the way, you guys know Jesus wasn't a Christian, right? You know that. You guys do that, right? And you know how I know that Jesus wasn't a Christian? How you doing? Good. You guys know how I know that Jesus wasn't a Christian? Because he didn't have a Bible. You ever see pictures of Jesus with a Bible around underneath his arm? Right? You know when Christians were invented? You guys know when Christians were first invented? Yeah, you guys know how to spell Christian, don't you? You got any Christians out there? No? All right, well, let me tell you how to spell Christian. Capital C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N. Christian. If you're going to be a Christian, you know how to spell it. Capital C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N. Christian. Yeah? Capital C at the beginning, lowercase n at the end. Christian. Okay? But I'm a non-Christian Christian cleaner. That means I'm a non-Christian Christian cleaner. That means it's my job as a non-Christian Christian cleaner to clean up the mess that's made by Christians. And I do that by telling you the truth about what a Christian is and what a Christian does. So you guys already know what a Christian is, right? I already told you. A Christian's an actor. Hey, did you know that Jesus was an actor? Did you know that? Have you guys ever been to the movies? You know about every 2 years they come out with a movie about Jesus? You ever notice that? And have you ever noticed that in every single one of these movies, Jesus is always performing a role? You notice that? So if you've ever been to the movies, if you've ever heard of Hollywood, then you know that Jesus was an actor. And it was his job to perform a role. Right? Just like Obama. Don't you love Obama? And we got any fans of Obama in here? Come on now. Oh boy. Yeah. You got a fan of Obama, all right. So you are a follower of Jesus. Yeah. Hey, you know what this means, don't you? Huh? It means keeping it Jesus, brother. You know why I do this? Because I'm lazy. Because it's easier to do this than this. Try it. Man, it feels good to be positive, doesn't it? Just like Obama. So, the thing about Obama is, he's a lot like Jesus, that's true. But you don't have to look at Obama to be like, you know, you have to do is watch the movies. Do what the movies do, right? Like you always see the things that Jesus says in the movies. But the thing about being a non-Christian Christian cleaner is, you got to clean up the mess that Christians make by telling the truth about what a Christian is and what a Christian does. Being a Christian is that I'm an actor, And being a Christian means that you need to be like me, or you can go to hell. Right? But you want to be like me, or you can go to hell? Yeah. So that's really cool about being a Christian, because I don't have to get involved in politics, and I don't have to get involved in violence. I just wait for the Lord to come back and kill everybody that's not like me. Amen? Amen. So tonight there was a Christian, non-Christian cleaner. I need to talk to you about something that's very important. And the thing I need to talk about is boots on the ground. Now the thing with boots on the ground is we need to have boots on the ground.
We met in an alley at a coffee shop. We weren't being junkies in the alley. He's a very cool guy. His name's Srandall Slopez. Coming to the stage. Slopez. There we go.
Thanks, Brian. Hey, would you do me a favor? Take that. Undo my phone over there. Thanks. Hi, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? You guys all ready to hear the gospel tonight? Is anybody out there like me a Christian? You guys know how to spell Christian? Capital C. R-H, rather. If you're going to be a Christian, you need to know how to spell it. Right? One thing that irritates me is when somebody tells you you're a Christian and they can't spell it. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing, brother?
I know you're not a Christian, dude. You're an Indian. The first indicator, my first indication that I needed to put my attention on you as a Christian is the darkness of your skin. That's my first indication. My first job as a Christian is to make sure that I know whether you're like me or not. And the first indication that I know I need to ask is the color of your skin. Now, that's the first thing, okay? The second thing I need to know is, hey, by the way, now listen, let me tell you something. Do you guys know how to spell Christian? Capital C-H-R-I-S-T-I-A-N, Christian. Now, you know what a Christian is, don't you? A Christian is an actor. Did you know that a Christian is an actor? It's the job of a Christian to act like somebody else, like Jesus. Did you know that? I know you didn't know that because most Christians that you meet don't act like Jesus. But did you know that there's such a thing as Jesus? Have you ever heard of Jesus? Did you know that? You guys know about the movies, don't you? You ever seen Hollywood? If you've been to the movies, you know that Jesus was an actor and it was his job to perform a role, right? He said, I came to do something on behalf of other people that couldn't do it, that wouldn't do it, didn't want it, right? And could never repay it. Yeah, you ever notice how Jesus is a lot like Obama like that? He's always trying to like force his stuff on people, right? And have you ever noticed that how Obama is a lot like Jesus? Because couple reasons. I can't help but notice. I open the papers. Is anybody here like me? You still read the papers? The papers, right? You don't trust the news, so you get your news from the newspaper because you don't trust the news, right? I don't know where the news is coming from. I can see the paper. I can hold the paper. I know the paper state approved. You know how I know the paper state approved? You can turn on page 3. You can see that paper is governed by a policy that says it's the state of California, it's the federal government, the Library of Congress. It's all right there. I don't know where the news is coming from. So I just read the newspaper. And every time I open the newspaper, you see stuff about Obama, right? Obama's always making claims about his authority. He claims he can do this. He claims he can set this guy out of jail. He claims he can raise the pay raise for this guy. He claims he can set this guy and get free health care. He claims he can kill these people from 20,000 feet in the sky. Have you ever noticed that? You guys ever read the end of the Bible? You guys ever done that? If you read the end of the Bible, you know that Jesus is pretty scary, right? Have you ever noticed how many people Obama kills from the air? Have you ever noticed that? He's always killing people from like 20,000 feet. From somewhere between like 20,000 feet and 30,000 feet in the sky, Obama's always killing people. And he claims that he has the authority to do this. I'm going to come on this side, because this side's more Christian. Now, have you ever noticed, though, how Obama is a lot like Jesus? Because when he started out his ministry, when he started out his public service, his poll numbers were like through the roof. Right? He had like millions and hundreds and thousands, innumerable numbers of supporting voices supporting him. Have you ever noticed that? How Jesus just came, he came on the scene as supporters, you couldn't even number them, right? It's just everywhere. And then by the time he died, he's one supporter right next to him, right? You ever notice that? Like sometimes it's only like the only supporter Obama has and one supporter Joe Biden. Right? The only supporter that Jesus had when he died was a thief on the cross. You know about the thief on the cross, don't you? Hey, you know what's weird though about Jesus that I have never been able to figure out? Because the only people that I've ever met right, that represent Jesus. I don't know sometimes. But now, some people don't actually believe I'm a Christian. But I'll tell you I'm a Christian. First of all, you know I'm a Christian because the first thing I ask people when I see them every day is, there's a problem here with this thing here. I'm like Jesus. I want all the attention on me. Have you ever noticed how Obama's like Jesus? Because he's always having his picture taken. He's always trying to get in the spotlight. He's always making speeches, right? And he's always telling people how they should think and what they should do and what they should sign up for. You ever notice that? Obama says that he knows what you need. Obama knows what you need. He knows what you need, right? You need health care. Obama knows what you need. You need more money. Obama knows what you need. You need to vote Democrat. So I'll tell you the first reason I can prove I'm a Christian is I'm a Democrat. That's the first reason. You know why I'm a Democrat, don't you? It's because I love acting like Jesus. Don't you just love acting like Jesus? You know what? You can be an atheist and act like Jesus. Right? You can be like me and be at least 1% atheist, at least 99% of the time, and be like Jesus. Did you know that sometimes I wake up in the morning and I don't even believe in God? Did you know that, David? Did you know that I woke up this morning and I was an atheist when I woke up? You could not have convinced me that there was a God in this world. But you know what? By the end of the day, I was not an atheist. I was maybe about 1%. No. But I know that Jesus never had that problem, except when he was on the cross, right? You ever remember that story in the Bible when Jesus became an atheist right before he died? And he said, God, why have you forsaken me? Right? Jesus claimed that he knew that God had forsaken him, right? Did you know that, if you talk to a lot of Christians, that they'll tell you that the only person that Jesus can't save is an atheist? Did you know that? Did you know that Jesus can save anybody except an atheist? Did you know that? He can't save an atheist. You know why? Because it is finished means it's not quite finished for atheists. That's what that means. That's an inside joke for Christians. Only Christians get that. But see, I read the end of the Bible. Now, if you read the end of the book, you know that there's a lot of killing that takes place from the sky, right? And Jesus comes back, he's killing, like Obama's always killing people, 20,000 feet in the sky, right? I'm just about done. How many minutes do I got left, Brian? I gotta have time to give my altar call. Okay. So now you guys that aren't Christians, you guys don't save, you guys never been to church, you don't know what an altar call is, right? But I know what an altar call is. An altar call is when I give you guys a chance to be like me. I'm gonna give you a chance to be like me. Then I'm gonna give you a chance to give me money so I can be more like Jesus, right? Did you know that Jesus has wealth beyond compare, riches? Now, did you know that Jesus, the reason he came to this earth was to be unequal? Did you know that? Did you know that Jesus was an equaler? And that's the other reason why I like being a Democrat, is because Democrats are always trying to make people equal. And when you go to the, hey, what's up, Dragon? And when you go to the DMV, did you know that the DMV is like the ultimate drain for Democrats? Man, I love the DMV because everybody's equal with the DMV. You ever notice that? You ever notice that the DMV, everybody moves at the same pace, everybody buys the same product, right? Like at the supermarket, you want to know the difference between the DMV and the society, right? It's the government's job to fix society, to make society more equal, right? The Democrats do more to make people equal than anybody else. And that's why I'm a Democrat, is because I'm a Christian, right? And I'm a Christian because I'm a liberal. And I'm a liberal because I like to feel good, because it feels good to act like Jesus. All right, thank you. No, wait a second. Wait, one more thing. Right? Hey, how you doing? My name's Ray. It's going pretty good. Listen, hey, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Great, that's great. All right. Super. Yeah. As a Christian, it's my job to find out who it is that I can associate with and who that I don't have to associate with, right? So if you're a Christian, you're fine. But if you're not a Christian, then you need to go back to where you came, right? And did you know, as an American Christian, it's my job to pledge allegiance to a piece of cloth, fabric, right? Did you know that? And did you know, as a Christian, my other job is to get other people to act just like me, to do exactly what I do, to become a follower, to do what they're told, right? It's the job of a Christian to do what somebody else tells them. It's the job of a Christian to act like somebody else, right? Did you know that Jesus was an actor? Did you know that? Jesus was an actor. You've heard of Jesus, haven't you? You know anything about Jesus? You ever go to Hollywood? Do you know what the movies are? Have you ever seen Jesus in the movies? Well, if you've seen the movies, then you know that Jesus is an actor, because it was his job to act, and it was his job to perform a role. And it's my job to act, right? And that's why I'm a Christian, because I'm an actor. So This whole thing's an act tonight, so if you wonder about what I'm doing or what I'm saying up here, don't worry about it. It's all an act, because I'm an actor, because I'm a Christian. Because I'm a Christian, I'm a Democrat. Now, you know why, of course, I'm a Christian, don't you? Because I'm a liberal. Well, you have to be mentally ill to be a Christian. But, hey, that's a good one. I'm going to have to remember that one. But I'm a liberal because I like to feel good. Okay? Now, did you know that as a liberal, my job is to know what other people ought to think? My job as a liberal is to know how people ought to think and how they ought to act. That's my job as a liberal. To know how you need to think and how you need to act. And my job as a Christian is to tell you how you need to think and how you need to act. Right? And my job as a Democrat is to show you how you need to think and how you need to act. And that's why, as a Democrat, my job is to pass the bill so we can see what's in it. Right? Because how are you going to know how to act unless we pass the bill so you can see what's in it? I have to tell you how to act as a Christian, and I have to show you how to act as a Democrat. That's why, as a Democrat, we have to pass the bill to see what's in it. Right? You know what my other job as a Democrat is, don't you? As a Democrat, I have a lot of jobs. I have a lot of jobs. One of my jobs as a Democrat, of course, is to follow Jesus, to follow the red letter portions of the Bible, number one. Number two, my job is to pass the bill to see what's in it. Number three, my job is to tell you that you didn't build that. Did you know that's my job as a Democrat, is to tell you that you didn't build that? Did you know that? That if you've been successful, that if you've enjoyed success in any way in this country, that you didn't build that. Right? Did you know that somebody else built that? That's my job as a Democrat, is to remind you that you didn't build that. Somebody else built that. And that's why I just love being a Democrat. Because I love following Jesus. And that's why I love following Obama. Did you know that Obama is almost exactly like Jesus? In fact, I'm going to go on record as saying Obama's so much like Jesus that sometimes I can't even tell them apart. I mean, have you ever noticed how every time Obama goes out to speak, he's always surrounded by multitudes of people? Have you ever noticed that, how when you read the Bible, Jesus was always surrounded by multitudes of people? And I'm talking about so many people that he had to have people pushing him away. He had to have people just pushing people away from Jesus. And that everywhere he went, people were trying to get their hands on him. And also, Obama's a lot like Jesus because he's always having his picture taken with kids. Right? Just like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was a lot like Jesus like that, too. He's always having his picture taken with kids, right? Isn't that crazy? Now, Michael Jackson was a lot like Jesus. Oh, speaking of that, how you guys doing tonight? Huh? How are you doing tonight? Hey, listen, anybody in here a homeowner? You guys keeping it Jesus? How are you all doing tonight?
All good.
Yeah? Are you all ready to hear the gospel tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, good. One person? Yeah, we need to learn how to say yes. Who's ready to hear the gospel?
Whatever it is.
Yeah? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question first. Let me start with a question, okay? How you guys doing?
All right.
Yeah? You guys doing good? You guys ready to hear the gospel tonight?
Sure.
Great. Let me start over.
Okay.
We need to learn how to say yes, right? So let me start with a question. Is our world improved because we can stand out over the edge of Grand Canyon on a piece of glass? I don't know. So before anybody gets offended tonight, just to start, hey! How you doing? Let me just say that this is all an act. Alright? This is all an act. Right? Because I'm an actor. Right? Did you know I'm an actor? Anybody in here know I'm an actor? Yeah?
Two people.
Yes? An actor? Right. Now you know why I'm an actor? You know why I act? Right? The same reason every other actor acts. To perform their agenda. Right? I have an agenda tonight. You know what my agenda is tonight? To act. Because I'm an actor. Yeah. I'm performing my agenda tonight, which is to act. Because I'm an actor. Because I'm a Christian. Yeah. Did you know I'm an actor, Joe? I'm a Christian? Anybody else in here a Christian? Yeah? Like me? No, not like me. Nobody in here is a Christian like me. Has anybody got my card yet?
No, I haven't.
In case you need anything.
Sure.
I'll carry a bucket of water for you. Yeah. Right. Helps me act more like a Christian. The bigger the bucket, right? The better the act.
Right. So now, before anybody gets offended, I want to let you guys know that this is all an act. Right? Because I'm an actor. Did you know, did I mention that I'm an actor? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I did. Because I told you I'm a Christian. Right? Which lets you know I'm also mentally ill. Now, of course you know I'm a Christian. And of course you know I'm mentally ill. I just told you I am. I have a very specific goal here tonight, and that is to wrap this cord one more time. I have a very specific goal here tonight, and that is to make mental illness normal. Now, have you ever noticed? Has anybody even here know what your hashtag is? Hashtag? Everybody say hashtag.
Yeah.
Hashtag. Yeah. That fine. I've got somebody say yeah. Good job. Now, you guys know what this means, don't you? Come on now. Yeah. What does this mean? This means that I am the world's most positive performer. Or one of them at least. You know why? Kind of because I'm lazy. Right? Because it's easier to do this than this. Try it. Everybody do this. Try it. Now everybody do this. Which one's easier? There you go. There you go. And just like Obama, right? Hey, are you guys glad that Obama's only in office for a couple more months? I love Obama. Everybody in here a fan of Obama like me? Man, I just love Barack Obama. I am glad that he's going away, though, because it's going to give us a chance to get another Christian in the office. Yeah, as a Christian, hey, listen, did you know I have a pro-life agenda? I don't know, something about you. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that you have the kind of hair I always wished I had. Right? So, but did you know that I am a Christian, right? That means I have a pro-life agenda, right? Right? That means I'm always pushing my agenda on people, right? Pushing welfare on people, food stamps. I really believe in food stamps, right? I'm in because I have a pro-life agenda. Right? Hey, listen, can you imagine? Now just think about this. Imagine if we spent as much on food stamps as we do on war stamps, right? That'd be crazy, wouldn't you? Think about that. We would be, think about it, in 20 years, imagine if we spent as much on food stamps as we do on war stamps, right? In 20 years, we could be back where Jimmy Carter almost had us in 1980. Think about that for a second, right? Think about this. In 20 years, maybe 30, we could have self-flying cars, right? Free, high-speed internet in each vehicle. Standard, 24 airbag passenger safety system in every vehicle. Right? Imagine that. Everybody could be bioengineers, we'd all be bioengineers and world outreach partners with Habitat for Humanity. Right? Just imagine that. Now, as an actor, one of my roles that I perform, I have many roles as an actor, but one of my roles I perform is to be an expert in every single thing that is. Because I'm a Christian. Did you know Christians are experts in everything? Yeah. Christians are expert in black things, right? Christians are experts in gay things. Christians are expert in Muslim things. Christians are experts in every single thing, right? So that's one of my jobs as an actor, is to be an expert in every single thing that there is. Hey, will somebody do me a favor and let me know how much time I have when I get to about the 2-minute mark so I can get my altar call and take an offering? Altar call. Thank you. Now, I already told you I'm mentally ill, right? Because you know I'm mentally ill because I'm a Christian. And it's my goal tonight to make mentally ill normal. Have you noticed how things are normal in our society? Everything is normal, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I can think of is normal. You can look at television. If you want to know what is normal in society, take a look at television, right? Or go to the supermarket. Anybody in here like me, you've ever been shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shopping? Yes. Excuse me, could everybody I need everybody on this side of the room to stop looking at me right now. Yeah, I'm only talking to this guy. So now, have you ever been shopping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, the first thing you think about when you walk into the supermarket? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Yes, good. So what do you need to do after that?
Go where the closest thing is.
What do you do? How do you get there?
I walk
Where?
from the entrance
To?
to the area.
How?
I walk on my feet
Through?
through the aisle.
Yes! Finally! Thank you. In other words, You walk through the aisles to get what you want. It wasn't that hard, was it? You guys want to try that? You guys want to try to participate? Now, one of my jobs as a Christian is to put a lot of pressure on you to participate in the way I think. So I'm going to be pushing my agenda tonight. I have a very pro-life agenda. Again, I'm pushing food stamps tonight and welfare. Also, I'm selling my book. Now, I've written a book. About 3 years ago, I had a life-changing something happened. A thing happened to me. About 8 years ago, a thing happened to me. And then about 3 years ago, another thing happened to me. And then about 2 years ago, another thing happened to me. And then today, something happened to me. You're anybody here like me? Something happens to you every day? It's been happening to you since the day you were born? Yeah? You? Julie? Okay. I need everybody in this section right here, the middle, to go. Just leave. I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you. Okay?
Just leave?
Yeah, just leave. Just go.
Where should we go? Back, Alicia.
Okay. So, what I'm doing here today is I'm pushing my agenda. And of course, I told you I'm mentally ill. You know I'm mentally ill, right? Because I told you I'm a Christian. Anybody here, now let's maybe we'll have a different. Anybody here got to hear me like me? You're an American? No Americans in here? You got any Americans in here? All right, no fans of Superman? Okay, Batman. Me too. Good. Great. Okay, now, if you know that I'm a mentally ill, a Christian, right? So you can just call me a mentally ill Christian.
Okay, alternative.
Or you can just call me a mentally ill. Or you can just call me mentally ill. Right? Or you can just call me Christian. Or you can just call me a Christian. Or you can call me an American Christian mentally ill. Or you can call me a American Christian mentally ill. Or you can call me Christian American mentally ill. Two? Okay. Which basically means the same thing. All those words mean the same thing, right? American, Christian, mentally ill, they all mean the same thing. Okay, society is, right, made up of things, right? Society is a made-up thing, made up of other things, made up of different things, to make one thing the same thing, right? Think about it. All these things, all these different things, make up one thing that's the same thing. That's society, right? Society is a made-up thing. She's a little crazy. We get offended over all these made-up things, right? Okay, so question. Who's going to buy the CD? Who's going to buy the book? Great, good. Did you donate already?
Yes.
All right, there you go, there you go. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is, thank you for reminding me of redundancies. Did I introduce myself tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? I didn't really tell you my name though. That's the most important part of the act.